Hi, this is 5.1c. I made a little mistake last time. I said 325. The answer is 225. Okay, but let's see how this works on graphs, what we were talking about. This is the same problem as last time, okay? So we said that she could sell at 350. So here I'm going at 350. All right. And if we look at producer's revenue, it's $3.50 times 300. So here we go at 300. And we're multiplying these two. And that's how we would get the area right in here. So that is the producer's revenue. Okay? Producer willing to receive. Willing to receive from 0 to 300. Here's 300 again. We're going up to here to at 2. And it is this area right here, all this in here, is what she's willing to receive, okay? Now notice, the producer's surplus, we said it's when we subtract these two. So if you look at the picture and you take this area and you subtract this area, that's going to give us this little piece right here, all the way here. So there's our producer's surplus. So we have $1,050, take away $825, and this is what she would be making on extra if she was happy to make $825. Okay, so let's continue on. What we ideally would like to do, and you've seen this plenty of times, is we'd like to find the equilibrium point. Here's our demand curve. We started off with our first part of our lecture. And then here's our supply curve. And where they intersect is the best place to be. Okay, so we state this is XE for equilibrium and PE for the equilibrium price. Okay, XE for the quantity and PE for the equilibrium price. Okay, now, I ask you, where's the producer's surplus? If you had to color in this graph, where would you color the producer's surplus? Okay, I think you've got it. It's this part right here is producer's surplus. Okay, so where's consumer surplus? Remember from the first part of the lecture, this right here is consumer surplus. Okay, so that's consumer surplus. All right, very good. Okay, so now we're going to do a problem. It's going to take some time, but it covers everything that we just went over. And I'm going to do it on the smaller board because it erases easy, more clear. Okay, so here we go. We're going to do a problem. And this takes a lot of steps, so I'm going to be erasing. Go ahead and freeze frame when you need to. Okay, we're going to start with an example where they give us the demand curve is going to be x minus 5 squared. And the supply curve is going to be x squared plus 2x plus 1. Okay? So letter A, find the equilibrium point. Find the equilibrium point. Okay? For, and you'll see it this way, XE, PE. Okay? All right, so to do that, we know we have to let the demand equal the supply. Our demand, if we factor this, is x squared minus 10x plus 25 equals our supply curve, x squared plus 2x plus 1. Okay, you all know how to do algebra, so let's just skip that part. We get x equals 2. Okay, so we found x, we need to find p. So let's go ahead and put x in one of these equations. I'm going to put it into this one. So d of 2 is 2 minus 5 squared, which is negative 3 squared, which equals 9. So what we found was the equilibrium point for a supply and demand curve is going to be 2, 9. All right, let's go to the next question. Oops. Okay. So the next part of the question is, find the consumer's surplus. Find the consumer's surplus. I'm going to call this C dot S, okay? We know the consumer surplus is the integral from 0 to x naught d of x dx minus p naught x naught. Okay? So in this problem, we're going to integrate from 0 to 2 x minus 5 squared dx minus 9 times 2. Okay? So we're going to integrate from 0 to 2 of x squared minus 10x plus 25, oops, sorry about that, dx minus 18. All right, so when we do all of that, which you know how to do already, the answer is 14 2/3. All right, let's do the last question, and then I'll give you the homework. Okay, last question. Find the producers. Surplus. Find the producer's surplus, which I'm going to call PS. Okay? So the producer's surplus equals P naught x naught minus the integration from 0 to x naught of S of x, which is our supply, dx. Okay? So in our case, we have 9 times 2 minus the integral from 0 to 2. And S of x was x squared plus 2x plus 1 dx. Okay, doing the work, we get 18 minus, and if we do all this work here, we're going to get x cubed over 3 plus x squared plus x from 0 to 2, and that ends up being 18 minus 8 2/3, oops, which equals 9 1/3. Okay, so let me list the homework that we're going to be doing that comes from the book. All right, 5.1 homework. This is from our book. Okay, so do 5, 7, 9. And for 9, I'm going to give you a hint. The hint is let u equal x plus 4. Okay? Then do example 2. So in your book, you're going to look back and look at example 2 on page, example 2 on page 356. Okay. So actually do the example, then after you've done that example, do 19 and then 23. And then you're going to do example 4 on page 359. Okay? Actually do the example. That's part of your homework. And then do problem 29. All right? This requires a lot of writing on these examples, so it's just best that you look at it. Okay, then do example 6 on page 361. And after you do that example, do 33, 39, and 49. Now notice I gave you all odd numbered problems. That way you can look your answers up in the back of the book.